This is the traffic hijack method, and it works like this. First, we will find your competitors. Then we will discover the keywords that they are using to pull traffic to their sites. Then we will rank your content for the same traffic. And we'll do this using free tools. So let's find out who our competitors are. Head over to buzzsumo.com and type in a relevant keyword. So at the moment I'm working with someone in the wax melt industry. So I'm going to type in wax melt. It's going to bring back the best performing content that's relevant to that niche from the last 6 months. So here we can see the level of Facebook engagement, Twitter shares, Pinterest, Reddit, number of links, evergreen score, and total engagement. So this in itself is going to give you two things. First of all, it's going to give you the websites of your competitors. We have to be a little bit selective here because we have to weed out some of the big authority websites. For example, I'm seeing results for The Sun and the Daily Mail, so I do not want to include them in my list. I do, however, want to include Ava May Aromas. So I'll grab that, add that to the list. I can also go for thecandledaddy.com. I'll add that to the list and maybe take a bit of a deep dive into one of the competitors. So now it gives me access to the second thing, which is important, and that's the ability to see what type of content is performing well for our competition. So we know if we create a similar type of content, we might achieve similar results. And now we're off to a pretty good start. So we've got a few suggestions from Buzzsumo. So let's go to similarweb.com and put in one of our competitors here. I'll paste in the website address. And if we scroll down to the bottom of the page, we have a section down here called competitors and similar sites. Here it's going to give us even more competitors. You can just grab as many as you want to, add them to your file, and then you can also take a deep dive into any number of these. So I'd encourage you to just spend a bit of time to really get a good feel for who your competitors are. When you're happy with your list, go to alexa.com, scroll down to the bottom of the page where we have browse top sites. Put in one of your competitors there, click find, and it's going to bring back even more data. So there's a few things on this page that we want to pay attention to. First of all, we have this list of additional competitors. So if there are any here that are not on your list, add them. For example, I'm looking at the yankeecandle.co.uk site, but they also have a .com. Let's go examine that. So the things that we really need to pay attention to on this page are the keyword opportunities breakdown, the top keywords by traffic, and down here, social media engagement, in particular the popular articles. So let me walk you through it. So here we have the keyword gaps. So these are keywords that your competitor is not targeting. So that gives you an opportunity to get in on that. So copy these, add them to your list. Let's make it a little bit easier to read. You can also add all this to a spreadsheet to make things easier to manage. We've also got easy to rank keywords. These are keywords that would be easy for your competitor to rank for, so they might be easy for you as well. Let's add them to the list. Don't worry too much about duplicates. We can get rid of those later on. And then look at buyer keywords, very important, so you can get a feel for the buyer intent, because we want to be making money, right? So it makes sense to target keywords that have a high buyer intent. Let's add them to the list and continue on down to popular articles. I think it's a good idea to spend the time looking at what your competitors are creating, get a feel for what's out there and what's working for them so you can create similar content. So the popular articles section could be a good source of inspiration for you. So we would do this process on as many of your competitors as we can, and we've already got, from spending a couple of minutes on this process, we've already got 11 keyword ideas. So rinse and repeat before we move on to the next phase, which is to use the Google Keyword Planner tool. So create a free account if you don't have one. You'll have two options: to discover new keywords or get search volume and forecasts. Today we want to use Discover New Keywords and then go to the Start with a Website tab. Paste in one of your competitors' websites. Make sure that it's on the Use This Entire Site radio box and then click Get Results. Now we can see what type of keywords they are targeting. We can see the average monthly searches. We can see the minimum ad spend for ads, and we can see the maximum ad spend. I'll talk about this in a second, but for the moment, let's take a look at these keywords. Now we want to eliminate short tail keywords. They are keywords that are 1 or 2 words long. Instead, we want to focus only on keywords that have a minimum of 3 words. So we could add that to the list. When it comes to looking at the average monthly searches, don't get too hung up about that. We just want to see some activity. But if you want specific data, you can create a campaign, which is free to do. You don't have to spend anything, and then it will show you those results. It will show you the exact search volume. Now, I mentioned buyer intent previously. I'll speak a little bit more about that because, as I said, over here we have how much people are spending on ads. This is a really good indication of buyer intent. If your competitors are spending money on ads to target those keywords, then there's a high probability they're getting a good return on that investment. So it makes sense for you to target those keywords too. So in this instance, Woodwick Candle Scents List looks like it has a decent level of buyer intent. So we want to validate that. An easy way to do that is to go to Amazon.com, paste in the keywords, and we might have to change it slightly so it makes more sense. So Woodwick Candle Scents. So let's say Woodwick Candle, let's target that. And are products being sold or similar products to that? Yes, there's a market for that. So we found our competitors. We know what keywords they're targeting. We've validated that buyer intent exists. So let's move on to the optimization phase. So let's choose one of our keywords, making sure that we're not dealing with short tail keywords. Go with types of candle wax. Let's paste that in to Google. And what we're going to do is head down to the People Also Asked section. So watch what happens when I open up one of these tabs. So I'm going to open it up. Watch what happens. More results are populated. So I'll close that. I'll open up one again and it'll bring back more results. Now you can do this all day long. It's going to bring back a whole heap of questions for you, but the longer you do it, the less relevant the questions will be. So you have to know when to stop. Okay, so here's a good list to start with. So we just grab all these, copy, go to our WordPress document, paste them all in there. Now we can clean this list up a little bit. Let's make sure that we have our main keywords in the title. Now we have a list of questions that we can answer. So what we're going to do is highlight all of these. You might have to remove some, but for the moment, highlight them all. Give them a H2 heading. So this is going to be the outline for a piece of optimized content. So now, what type of candle wax burns the longest? You should be able to go ahead and answer that question. Answer all these questions as long as they're relevant, and you should be able to hijack some traffic from your competitors. But listen, with this and every other marketing strategy, you have to be consistent, because when you are consistent, you can achieve amazing results. Like my student Matt, he made over $2 million from my training. If you want to know how he did it, then head over to profitcopilot.com/traffic. You'll see how I got over 30,000 website visitors to my website every single day for free, and you won't have to pay a penny for that training. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this useful, and I will see you again very soon. Take care.